WeatherScope.
Well, they're rewriting the history books, the weather history books that is, as more record rains continue to fall in areas of California. In fact, the amounts have been prompting more road closures, flash flooding, and mudslides. Good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of WeatherScope. I'm Dennis Smith.
And I'm Bob Stokes. Now, that nor'easter, Dennis, bringing heavy rain, high winds, and snow, and that's affecting the Northeast today, and it could cause some problems for the area. We had some tremendous snows. This was the scene in Beantown today. Walking to work was quite a battle against the wind, which gusted to more than 45 miles an hour at times. Now, some of you decided it wasn't worth it to carry an umbrella. Look at that. Temperatures are in the 30s, but the wind chill is making it feel like 10 degrees. Boy, that umbrella took a beating. The wind gusts weren't quite as bad in New York City, but you are dealing with a cold and wet day. While heavy rain fell in Manhattan during the morning rush hour, it didn't seem to affect the morning commute. If you're going out this afternoon, be sure to bundle up. The wind chill can cut the 40-degree temperatures in half. Ooh, imagine standing outside waiting on that taxi and having to wait too long in the Northeast. It's a rough one. That was that low in the center of it, moving toward the Gulf of Maine. It's now off of the coast of New Jersey. And this is a slow-moving thing. And so this snow is going to stick around. Heavy snow now in Binghamton, as a matter of fact. We've seen several inches of snow in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and very gusty winds. Some of the higher elevations in Boston, you saw Boston earlier, over 60 miles an hour. So the snow is going to accumulate in the Catskills and the Poconos as we go into the evening hours, and then along the coast we've got the rainfall. Now we've already have winter storm warnings in effect for several locales in Maine and winter storm watches, except for the coastline, of course, where we have that marine influence. Speaking of marine influence, look at that Atlantic moisture coming in, the rain piling up. Now, as winds start coming in from a more northerly direction, we're not going to see that coastal flooding that we've been seeing, where the winds have been coming directly into the coast. That's some good news out of all this, but generally speaking, it's still very choppy. The waters are along the coast, and the snows, I'd say from about right here through Albany, another 3 to 5 inches possible in the Capital District, and then on up into the Blue and White Mountains, and then getting into the higher elevations of Maine. It's going to be a problem. New York still getting wet. It's a messy one. Again, it's a slow mover. And there's a look at the snowfall potential. The highest elevations will see the worst snows, and you can see on up in the Green and White Mountains and then getting up into Maine. It's going to be some treacherous traveling. You might want to postpone any traveling you've got going. Gale warnings in effect from Eastport, Maine down to the Merrimack River. 55-mile-per-hour winds or above. You can see southward we go down to Okra Creek Inlet, North Carolina. 39 to 54-mile-per-hour winds, and the heavy surf advisory is still in effect here from Fenwick Island, Delaware to the North Carolina-Virginia border. And high wind watches in effect, advisories for much of North Carolina. Strong northeasterly winds still coming in, but a beautiful day in the southeast. But how beautiful or unbeautiful is it in the west? For that story, we go to Dennis.
We'll examine Southern California. Should get a chance to dry out this afternoon. That storm affected the region, is pushing on eastward. Now, this dry time will give you a chance to clean up the mess left behind in Laguna Beach, California, where heavy rain earlier this morning led to a mudslide that damaged 2 homes. Rescue crews had to free a number of people trapped in the debris. 10 people were injured. Boy, this stuff just keeps on coming, doesn't it? Look at the satellite perspective. You can see it continue to keep on coming. One storm system on in. Brings some rain. Moderate rain to Phoenix, Arizona right now. Big fetch of moisture driving on across the Pacific. We'll tell you what impact that will have on the forecast across areas of the Northwest. Here's Washington, Oregon, and moving down into California. National radar is still focusing in on the precipitation. Rain in places like Phoenix and all the way down around Yuma. They've seen rain in Palm Springs and Imperial. Snow, though, in Prescott, moving on up into Cedar City, Utah. Ogden, Utah, moving up into Pocatello, where they have about 5 inches of the white stuff on the ground right now. It's still snowing around Yellowstone Park. Now, if it were snowing in Yellowstone Park, that'd be affecting Yogi and Boo Boo. But it looks like the snow continues along the Wasatch all the way down in the Mogollon Rim. Again, rain all the way down to Tijuana right now. Looks like the rain persists even across the Phoenix metropolitan area. Prescott, Flagstaff, snow. Cedar City, snow. Moving up into around the Salt Lake City area. More light snow continues there. As you can see, most of the rain has cleared the LA basin, the Sacramento area, but pressing on eastward across sections of Arizona at this particular hour. We examine the status into farther to the north, some more light snow into Rapid City right now. That is light stuff. We are talking about only about 3-mile visibility going on right now into western areas of South Dakota and pressing on in towards the capital around Pierre. Temperatures look like this. Very pleasant. 77 in western Texas at Midland. 59 enjoying a nice day with sunshine in Atlanta. Rain 37 reported at New York City, and 41 right now in Minneapolis. 37 is their current wind chill values. Dropping on down to teens. Feels like 13 around Boston. Now our forecast will continue to watch this storm system move on up into the Atlantic provinces of Canada, the Maritimes. Looks like rain brushing the coast of Portland and Boston right on through the evening. Snow at Burlington and on up to Holton, Maine. More light snow in the Rockies, Wasatch, Colorado Rockies, back to the Mogollon Rim, but rain in places like Tucson and Douglas in Arizona. They'll move across the land of enchantment tomorrow. We think by tomorrow morning the rain into Amarillo and Midland. Much cooler, very windy into the Plain States. Snow in places like Denver, Cheyenne, and Casper. You'll also be picking up some rain ahead of the system into eastern South Dakota around